Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So today I'll be going through this exercise 7B of the Think textbook. Okay, so I will start off with question 7 lah. So basically, question 7 is a question without a diagram lah. So that means we got to draw a diagram. Okay, and this need a bit of visualization, and also you need to know your bearings well. Okay, so let's start. So from P, Q, and R are 3 points on level ground, so they are on flat ground. And then we are going to draw from the bird's eye view, right? Directly on top of P, Q, and R. So given that the bearings of R from P is 135, so this one very important. So what do we mean by bearings of P from, bearings of R from P is 135? So that means from P, right? So that means we're going to draw P first. Okay, so we're going to draw P. All right, and then P, right? Let's assume that the north is always upward facing lah. So the north is always like that. Okay, so as you can see, right? From P, right? The bearing of R is actually 135. So if you recall, right, so this is our naughty elephant spray water, right? So this is our 90, and then our 45 is here. Okay, and it goes in a clockwise direction, right? So you'll go from the north to the east, and then the south and the west. So north to east is 90, and then another 45, right? This will result in the southeast direction lah. So that means our R is supposed to be at this position and not anywhere else. Okay, so that's where I know my R is roughly around here. Okay, so this is my R, and then I can draw a line and then connect P and R together. Okay, and then I will say that this is 135 degrees. Okay, this is 135 degrees. So this is the bearing, right, from P over here to R. Okay, this part here, R. Okay, and then moving on, they said angle PQR is equals to 55. So Q must be somewhere either on top or here, right, or here. But I just going to draw it here lah. Okay, I'm just going to draw it here because PQR is acute, right, 55. And then PRQ is also acute as well, 48. So I know for sure is I can either draw here or here. Okay, so I just going to draw it at the bottom lah. Okay, they did not tell us the bearing of Q, right? Or from P or from R, so it doesn't matter. Okay, in this case lah. So let's just draw probably Q here lah. Okay, Q. Okay, then I'm just going to match them up. You just got to make sure that, you know, your angle PQR is 55, and then, I mean, it looks like 55. You will not know exactly, right? Because it is all drawing lah, not drawn to scale. So angle PQR is 55 degrees here, and then angle PRQ is 48 degrees here. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so let's try. So after drawing the diagram, let's take a look at the first part of the question lah. So part 1, right? So part 1 asks us how to find the bearings of P from R. So P from R. So that means it's from R, right? So we're going to draw the exact same thing, right? The north at R. Okay, so try to make sure that, you know, it is parallel to this line. All right. Yeah, because the north by right, it should be the same direction, right? So P from R. So that means this is the bearing that I want to find. Okay, this is the bearing that I want to find. All right, this is the bearing that I want to find. So how, right? So now let's see. What we can do is we can, okay, one common mistake to take note is, right, people will think that, wait, isn't this 180 degrees over here and then at 90, right? So we do not know that, you know, this line is actually the what? The west of R. We do not know that Q, whether Q is it the west of R. If Q is the west of R, means like, you know, R is here, right? R, and then the Q is here, right? And then this is north, east, south, and west, right? So if we say that the Q is the west of R, the Q is the west of R, then we can say that this is 90. But, you know, there's no such information given. So we cannot say that it is the west of R. Okay, so that means we got to still got to find the whole angle lah. So basically, right, as you can see, this part here, okay, this part here, right, is actually an interior angle formed with the north at P. So I draw it out lah. So like that. So this is north, right? North. This is at P, right? And then this is at R. So this is 135. All right. This one will be 180 minus 135. So first step, 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. So this is equals to 45 degrees. Okay. Yep. Okay, so this part is 45 degrees and then interior angle, right? Okay, so after that, can we find the bearings of P from R? Yes, we can, right? So 360 degrees minus 45 degrees. Yeah, 40. Oh, wait. P from R. Oh, so actually it's the entire thing. So we need to include the 48 as well. Yeah, we need to include the 48 as well. So that means it's 360 degrees minus 45 degrees, only the black part. And then the answer is 315 degrees. Okay, so this is the bearings of P from R. Just now, right, I was actually doing part 2. So if we go and take a look at part 2, right? So part 2 is, okay, so part 2, oh, find the bearings of Q from R. So Q, right, Q from R. So it's actually this blue line, this one. This blue line. Okay, this blue line is Q from R. So yes, just now I was finding that. So actually now we should do 360 degrees minus 45 degrees minus 48 degrees. And yes, this will give us 267 degrees, sorry. Okay, then the last one, part 3. Okay, so find the bearings of P from Q. So same thing, we're going to draw a, let's use brown, dark red. No, maybe green. Okay, so P from Q, right? So draw a north line, right, at Q, north. And then they say P from Q. So is this part here. Okay, this part here. So it always goes clockwise. P, right, from Q. So they want this. So how do we find out, right? So first thing first, we got to find out our angle QPR first. Okay, this one here over here. So why? Because we, okay, my thought process is this. So after I find angle QPR, I can then find this angle, and then I can find this angle. So 1, 2, and then 3. So 1 is I make use of the, sum of angles in a triangle. Then for number 2, it is actually sum of angles at a point, right? The whole entire thing is 360. So I just got to take 360 minus 135 minus this angle that I will find later, and then it will give me this. Then lastly, to find this is also a interior angle. Look at these two north over here. So these two north is parallel to each other. So I can use the properties of an interior angle to find my answer. So first step, so angle QPR equals to 180 degrees minus 55 degrees minus 48 degrees. And this will give me 77 degrees. So this is 77. Okay, let me just erase this. So this is 77 degree. Okay, so this is angles, sum of angles in a triangle. Okay, then next, let's find this number 2 angle over here. So 360 degrees minus 135 degrees minus 77 degrees, and this will give me 148 degrees. Okay, then lastly, I can find the bearing already. So bearing is just 180 degrees minus 148 degrees, and this will give me 32 degrees. Okay, so 32 degrees. So just take note, the bearing. So bearing of P from Q is equals to 032 degrees. Okay, so please, because they are asking for bearings, you need to write the 0. So it has to be like in like a 3-digit form. Okay, a 3-digit form. So for example, if my bearing is only 5.4 degrees, so I need to write example. Okay, if my bearing is 5.4 degrees, I need to write 005.4 degrees. This is bearings. Yeah. Okay, Ken. So this is it for question 7. Okay, guys, let's go through question 8 together. So another, I purposely pick questions that, I need to show you how to draw lah. So I guess these kind of questions are a bit harder. So that's why I choose to prefer, I choose to go through these questions lah. So first thing, A, B, and C are 3 points on level ground. So given that the bearings of the bearings of B from A is 122, and then angle CAB equals to 32, and angle ABC equals to 86. Find the possible bearings of C from B. So there are because they said possible bearings of C from B, right? So that means there are two ways how this, or maybe three, right? How this scenario will play out. Okay, so let's draw the first scenario first. Okay, so we start off with bearings of B from A, right? So let's draw A. Okay, let's draw A first. So A probably somewhere here. A, and then this is north. Okay, and then of B from A is 1 to 2. So B is going to be somewhere here. Okay, B is going to be somewhere here as explained in question 7. Right, so somewhere here, and this is B. Okay, it cannot be any other way else. I mean, it could be like here or here. Like it has to be like around here. Yeah, because this is the 122 degrees mark. Because if you go here, it will be 180. And then if B was to be here, it will be more than 180. Likewise, if B is here, then it's lesser than 90, right? So it doesn't make sense. Okay, so yeah, anyway, so back to the question. And then they say that CAB is 32 and ABC is 86. So one possibility that, C could be here. Okay, this is one possibility. Why? Because ABC is 86. So this is something like 86, right? Something like that, 86. And then CAB here, so this is 32. Something like that. Or another way could be what? The C could be the other way. It could be on top. Like probably somewhere around here. Okay, so it could be like, yeah, here. So CAB, so C, right? CAB here like that. This is 32. Right? And then ABC here is 86. Okay. So why, how come is it so important that we discuss these two scenarios? Because they want the bearings of C from B and it will change drastically. Okay, so let's try the first scenario first. Okay, so the first scenario just now I say, right, was on the at the bottom here lah. So somewhere around here. Okay, C. So let's draw a line, right? Let's draw, why is it so light? Let's draw lines. Okay, let's draw lines, right? Like that and like that. Okay, so this is CAB is 32, so this is 32. Maybe I should draw A outside, then it's clearer. Okay, let's write the A outside. Okay, so CAB here is 32 degrees, and then ABC is 86. Okay, so 86 degrees. Okay, then they want us to find, and then bearings of B from A. So this, right, is 122 degrees. Yes. Okay, so find the possible bearings of C from B. So C from B. So that means we have to draw the north line at B, all right, north. And then bearing of C from B, right? So it's like that, right? Okay, can. So the first thing is we got to find what is this. Okay, let me draw in red lah. So what is this angle over here? Okay, so why? After finding this, we can take 360 to minus this red angle and 86. Then this will give us the bearing of C from B. So let's find out the red angle lah. So red angle is 180 degrees minus 122 degrees. So this will give me 58 degrees. And then interior angle, right? Because the two north lines are parallel. Okay, then after that, last step, so 360 degrees minus 58 degrees minus 86 degrees. So this will give us 216 degrees. So this is the bearing of C from B. Okay, and this is for the first scenario. Okay, the second scenario, okay, maybe I draw another diagram lah. So A, I'm just going to draw A. Okay, so A, then north, right? And then B is here, right? B is here. And the bearing is 122, right? So B is here, right? And then this is 122. Okay, so C is going to be on here now, right? So let's draw a line. C is going to be like, oh, right. So it's here. Probably somewhere here lah. Okay. Yep. C. Okay, so then angle CAB is 32. So they are saying that this is 32 degrees. All right, and then angle ABC is 86 degrees. Okay, so this is 86 degrees. Maybe I draw it outside, 86 degrees. Yep. Okay, so find the possible bearings of C from B. So same thing, draw a north line, right? Draw a north line at B, north, and then they want this angle over here. They want this. Okay, the bearings of C from B. So what do we do? So first thing first, I got to find out this dark angle over here. Okay, then I take 86 minus this dark angle, then I'll get this already. So how to find this is actually this whole thing. This entire thing is 122. Okay, this entire thing is 122. So we can just take 180 degrees minus 122 degrees, and this will give us 58 degrees because interior angle. Okay, so take note, the 32 is part of the 122. So don't go and take 180 minus 122 minus 32. Okay, the 32 is already part of 122. All right. So after that, the dark angle is 58 degrees. Then the last step, 86 degrees minus 58 degrees, and this will give us 28 degrees. So the bearing of C from B is 028 degrees or 216 degrees. So this is my answer because there are two possible outcomes of the position C. Okay, so this is it for question. Okay, let's go through question 9. So a bookshop is 250 meters due north of a supermarket. So CT walks from the supermarket in the direction 55 degrees. Okay, so calculate how far she has to walk before she is equal distance from the bookshop and the supermarket. That's for part A. And then for part B, how far she has to walk before she is due east of the bookshop. So got two scenarios again. Okay, so let's start off with drawing lah. So the first one is this lah. So bookshop is 250 due north of a supermarket, right? So let's say the supermarket is here. And then bookshop is north, right? So north means okay, let's use the line lah. So like that. Okay, so this is the bookshop. Okay, so this is the bookshop B, right? And then this is 250. Okay, so CT walks from the supermarket in the direction 58. So CT is here at S. Okay, walks from the supermarket in the direction 55 degrees. So she walks this way. Okay, and then this is like 55. Okay, so around there, 55 degrees. Okay, let me write the 250 outside lah. 200, okay, 250 meters here. Okay, so CT is going to walk in this direction. So calculate how far she has to walk before she's equal distance from the bookshop and the supermarket. So meaning to say, I'm just going to assume that she's going to walk until here. Let's say she walked until here. Okay, and then she stopped. Then they realize that, oh, this distance is the same. Wait, let me draw in the line. So they think that, oh, then they realize that, oh, this and this is the same distance. Okay, and this is 55 degrees. Okay, so calculate the distance, right? How far she has to walk before she is equal distance. So they want the distance over here. Okay, I mean, this distance is the same as this distance because it's equal distance from the bookshop and the supermarket. So what do we do first? So first thing first, if you look at this, right, we can actually do sine rule, right? Because we know that this is 55, this must be 55 as well, 55 degrees, because it's something like an isosceles triangle, right? The two lengths are the same. So let's label this as C, maybe H lah, H. Okay, so let's find angle BHS. So angle, okay, we can say that angle BSH is 55. So angle SB H is also 55 degrees, right? Because base angle of isosceles triangle. Okay, so angle BHS is equals to 180 degrees minus 55 degrees minus 55 degrees, and this will give us 70 degrees. Okay, so now we can do sine rule to find the length, right? So sine rule is like 250 over sine 70 equals to BH. Okay, BH is what is part of the distance lah. So equals to BH over sine 55. So BH is equals to 250 over sine 70 times sine 55. So this is equals to 217.93, right? Which is 218 meter. Okay, and this is 3SF. Okay, so this is for part A. Okay, so for part B, okay, let me copy this. Oh, I can't. Okay, I don't think I can do it. Okay, let me draw it out again. No problem. Okay, so for part B, right, the scenario change again. Okay, so they want us to find how far she has to walk before she is due east of the bookshop. Okay, so same thing. S. Okay, and then bookshop is here. So this is 250 meters. Then she walked this direction lah. Okay, so they are saying that, you know, they want us to find due east. Let me shift this. Okay, so all the way until east. So now this is like that. So this, because this is north, right? This is also north. Okay, according to the question, the bookshop is 250 meters due north of a supermarket. So that means B is at the north direction as well. Okay, then that means when CT walks from the supermarket 55 degrees, right? So she will stop when it's due east of the bookshop. So this must be 90 degrees because this is now the east direction. Okay, and then this is H. Just going to put it as H. So CT will stop here. So they want us to find out how far she has to walk. So they want this distance. How far she has to walk such that when she reach H, right? H is the east of B. Okay, H is the east of the bookshop. B is the bookshop lah. Okay, so they want us to find this distance. And then this is 55 degrees and this is 90 because north and east, right, they form a 90 degree. Okay, so what do we have to do in this case? We do tuakaso. Okay, because now this is a right angle triangle, right? So this is the hypotenuse and the side that we want to find is the hypotenuse. And then the 250 is at the adjacent side. Okay, so adjacent, hypotenuse, so cosine. Cosine 55 degrees equals to adjacent 250 over HS. Okay, my hypotenuse. So my HS is equals to 250 over cosine 55 degrees. And this will be 435.86, round off 436 meter. Okay, so that means this CT has to walk right at the bearing of 55 degrees and for a distance of 436 meter in order for her to reach the east of the bookshop. So it means when she's at H, right, she look to her left, she will see the bookshop directly. Yeah, so that's why it's like a 90 degree like that because of this bearing lah. So north and east, right? So this is 90 degrees. Yeah, so if the bookshop is here, right, she must be now here and then it will form a 90 degree lah. Actually, it's the other way around. It's this one, this way. It's this way. Because she's at the, okay, so supermarket is actually at the south lah, right? So the south walk towards the east ma. Yeah, then the bookshop is like at the north of the supermarket. So it's this part here, is 90. It's the same as this lah. Okay, so this is still 90. Okay, let's go through question 10. Okay, question 10 is another question without a diagram. And I will say this diagram needs a little bit more care when we try and draw the diagram. Because if not, we will draw it wrongly. Okay, so let's go through this. So a helicopter flies 30 km from a point P to another point Q on a bearing of 128 degrees. So, okay, so 128, right? So it must be like on the bottom right. Okay, so P, okay, north, right? P is here. And then Q is somewhere around here. Okay, so Q. And then this is 128. Okay, then it flies another 25 km uh, to a point R on a bearing of 295. So now at Q, right, it will fly again, right, at a bearing of 295. So now, okay, so same thing, draw a north, and then 295. So you'll be thinking, so how do I know where does the 295 stops? Means this is, okay, because this is 180, right? So if I stop here is 180, roughly I stop here 270, right? So so 270 is here, roughly around, okay, roughly around here. Okay, 270 is roughly around here. Then there's another, because 295, right? So there's another 25 more degrees to go. Do I stop here a bit more, or do I stop here, right? Closer to the 300 mark. So I'm not sure, right? So first thing first, how do we know is this? So before even we draw R, right, we need to find out this angle first. Okay, this angle is actually 180 minus 128 degrees. So this is 52 degrees, right? So 52. So by right, this must be 52 degrees, right? But then after that, we see 360 degrees minus 52 degrees. We want to find out what is the leftover angle for this, right? So this is actually 308 degrees, right? So that means the remaining is 308, right? So can our 295 be exceed this line over here? Cannot, right? Our 295 must be still here, because the entire thing here, okay, the entire thing here is 308. So it must be way shorter. It must like end probably around here, something like that. Okay, so it cannot end like here. Okay, so that is why I say this question, the graph, the diagram drawing is a bit tricky. Okay, so let's go back. So now we calculated, right? So that means our R is supposed to be along here. It need to be underneath the PQ line. Okay, it cannot exceed above the PQ line. So probably R is around here, because 25 km, right? So maybe R is around here. Okay, so let's label in the line. So using this, so like that and like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, so we know that this is 25 meters, right? Oh, 30 km, meter, km, sorry. 25 km, and then this is 30 km also. Okay? And oh yeah, we know that this entire thing, right, this one, until here, right, bearing of R from Q, right? Q, this from R, from Q to R, right, is 295. Okay, so this is 295 degrees. Okay, so they want us to find this angle, this length, sorry, not the angle. Okay, so first thing first, we definitely need to, okay, let me use black now. So we definitely need this angle over here, this black angle over here. Okay, so the angle is just 360 degrees minus 52 degrees minus 295 degrees. Okay, and that will give us 13 degrees. So this is 13 degrees. Okay lah, we can say this is angle PQR. Okay, so with this, we can find PR already. What? How? Cosine rule, right? So PR square equals to 30 square plus 25 square, sorry, minus 2 times 30 times 25 times cosine 13 degrees. Okay, can? And then this will give us PR equals to okay lah, PR square equals to 63.4449, and then our PR is equals to 7.96523, and then I round it off 3SF. So 7.97 km 3SF. Okay, so take note, just remember you need to draw your diagram properly lah. So just now, what I was thinking is, we need to make sure that, the line RQ is underneath PQ, okay, and it's not above PQ, because the whole entire angle here, less the 52, right, is only 308 here. Okay, so we only have 295, right? So we only can, so it will only be like below, because if we were to exit above, we are telling them that, the bearing is more than 308, because the entire angle left is only 308, right? And we only have until 295, so it's direct, so it's very obvious that it's underneath the line PR. This PR, it should be drawn underneath PQ and not like above. Okay, this is very exaggerating. Above a bit lah, a bit like that. Okay, it's not like that. If like that means my R is here already, then it's wrong. Okay, can. So this is it for question 10.